Egoic will is not only a limited will, it's just an imitation of will, an imitation of the power of will. But an ordinary person might believe that this is my will. You need to have the power of discrimination available, which an ordinary person does not have, to realize that this egoic will is just an imitation of will. The true will in a human being is hidden underneath the imitation of will. Therefore, I work with the question, what is it that you really want? So, if you are aware of a certain will and believe that this is my will, use this question to go deeper and check whether there is a deeper will underneath this will. This process of examination goes deeper and deeper. In the deepest depths, there is the true will. It's underneath every other superficial, limited, and false will. This process can last years or decades, but it is also possible to follow this process within seconds. One of the instructions of the inner path is to find what is called the master of the house. Finding the master of the house is finding the representative of the true will. The master of the house is a master, and at the same time he is a servant. A true master is always also a servant. This leads naturally to the realization of thy will be done. It is necessary for a person of the inner path to find a state of unambiguity. This results in a kind of confession. A spiritual commitment. Whatever it needs will be done, and whatever it does not need will not be done. This is the result of the master of the house in action. Action and non-action. It is not the nature of mind to be unambiguous. The mind is a split entity, a split form that has the tendency to create duality, separation. So this split mind has to come together again, create one whole entity. So these separate realities create the ordinary reality of every human being. It needs continuous and serious inner practice to penetrate these deceptions with consciousness. It needs conscious effort, and it needs an inner refined state to be able to listen to what we call the inner call, the call for freedom. This is, to begin with, a very silent call, because everything that comes from the soul is much more silent, whereas the thinking mind tends to be loud and, in a way, rough. Therefore, the silent tradition which leads to the silencing of the mind is the tradition that is at the core of human suffering. The core of suffering is the mind, and the mind is a dualistic entity. Therefore, the end of separation and the unity with beingness, with God, is not possible in the mind, even when a person in his comfort zone, experiences dolce vita. You know, when we understand true will in a human being is not separate from God's will, so there is only one will and one stream of power, then divine intelligence is a concept that is even more expanded than the concept of the true will. True will happens within divine intelligence. Divine intelligence is God's idea. Manifesting through the different bodies of the human being and through every entity. True will is just one aspect of divine intelligence, but not the only one.